Ivan, the C8 Corvette looks amazing on the outside, but you gotta think about how to clean and protect the interior as well.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Yes, the C8 Corvette, marvel of engineering, great car. They're fun to drive as well. And the interior is really nice, but we can make it just a touch nicer.
If you spend this kind of money on a car,
yeah,
it's not just a car.
No.
Especially Corvette owners.
Right. You know, the owner of this Corvette has New Balances. Shout out to him. But that being said, the Corvette interior is a nice mix of materials. It's well designed, it's comfortable. The seats, we have this light colored leather that after 2,000 miles is already starting to get stains on it. So we're gonna be able to clean that and rejuvenate that. We have Alcantara on the steering wheel, fancy name for microfiber. We have, you know, leather, we have carbon fiber accents, we have piano black, we have screens obviously. So a lot of things going on inside this Corvette, and we're gonna clean and protect all of it.
What's the first thing I need to know about detailing an interior?
The least aggressive method is always the best. So don't start off with an all-purpose cleaner. Don't start off with the the SOS pad or the what do you call that little white thing that you like so much?
Magic eraser.
The magic eraser, yeah. Don't start with that. You're starting with a rinseless dampened towel. And for 99% of interiors, this is all you need.
It's a surprisingly effective way to clean.
Right.
And it's all we need to prep the surface for interior ceramic. We're gonna start cleaning, Ivan, and then maybe you can explain why we're doing interior ceramic in the first place.
Right. So to start cleaning, let's get ourselves some microfiber towels.
I'm gonna go get my rinseless dampened towel as well.
Okay.
How do I get out of this thing? This button?
Yeah.
Oh, this is fancy, Ivan.
Oh yeah, it is.
This is awesome. I love being in nice cars and cleaning them, by the way.
So
I feel blessed.
All right, while Nick is doing that, I'm gonna start the cleaning process, and I like to start cleaning from the top down now. We have the top open to make filming easier, but we've already cleaned the interior of the roof. It's good to go. The headliner here, or not headliner, but the windshield header is Alcantara. And all I'm doing is a rinseless dampened towel and then a dry towel to follow it up. That will clean this surface beautifully. Again, this vehicle has 2,000 miles, so let's just say it hasn't been driven and put away wet. It's been well cared for. The owner of this vehicle is a friend of the channel. We've detailed many of his vehicles. This is his first Corvette. And he took Corvette Museum delivery of it, which to me is a great thing to do. If you have the opportunity to go to Kentucky and pick up your Corvette if you're buying one, great experience. And he even bought New Balance shoes just for the occasion. And I'm just teasing for the Corvette owners, but there's a stereotype saying they wear New Balance shoes. Now, I've done the headliner, I've done the A-pillar, and I'm just moving my way down the vehicle. Making sure to get the rearview mirror. It's quite an interesting rearview mirror. The vehicle, when the roof is up, it becomes a camera, and when the roof is down, it's a rearview mirror. And basically, we want to touch absolutely every surface, making sure that it's dust-free, dirt-free, oil-free, and go from there. Now, I've done the windshield header, the A-pillar, moving onto the dashboard, and then work our way down the console, steering wheel, and out to the door. Lots of little nooks and crannies in this, this dashboard.
But the beauty of this, Ivan, is the name of our company, which is DIY, do it yourself.
Exactly.
You don't need to be a professional to take a towel, dunk it in a bucket of our rinseless wash solution, and lightly agitate the surface, buff with the dry towel, and then go ahead and apply interior ceramic. And that's what I think the beauty is in the simplicity. I mean, you still have to be willing to move your arm and hit every surface with the towel, but this ain't rocket science, right?
No. And this is a relatively new car. He's only had it a couple months. Only has 2,000 miles on it. So this is the time to do it. If you can do it when the car is brand new, even better. Now the Alcantara steering wheel, I'm going very simply using the rinseless dampened towel and just agitating it around the circumference of the wheel. And even though it only has 2,000 miles, I'm picking up a bit of dirt off the wheel here. And this raises the grain, or the surface of the Alcantara, making it really willing to accept and good to accept the interior ceramic coating.
We get accused of only cleaning clean cars. This is a pretty clean car.
Yeah.
A couple of things you could add to your arsenal. Compressed air. If you have an air compressor at home with a little, blowgun.
Yeah.
And then, how do you feel about any of those fancy little brushes to get into the nooks and crannies?
They work great. A lot of them are, shall we say, time consuming, depending on how people are using them, but if you use them efficiently and effectively, they work wonderfully.
And then the other thing is you just want to find a way to get into some area, knock something loose, and then get it away. That's why compressed air can blow into these nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Our towel may not get into a little button crevice. That's where maybe a brush could.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to spray on an interior, right? If
No.
you're a pro, take that risk if you'd like, but the best case scenario is not to spray on anything inside of a car.
No, exactly. The spraying can lead to damages. And the steering wheel is quite interesting here.
You enjoying it?
Yeah, well, it's got a lot of functionality to it. There's a lot of things on the steering wheel. It's a heated steering wheel too.
A heated steering wheel, that's phenomenal.
That's nice to have. Not that you see many Corvettes driving in the winter, but it is a possibility.
Maybe it's a 50-degree day and it's just a little too chilly.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 degrees, a cold spring day.
Steering wheel is all clean. Now we can move to the infotainment screen. And a rinseless dampened towel is great on the screens, like it is on glass. With the infotainment screen, very easy. Use your rinseless dampened towel. Make sure to get everywhere on the screen, and then a dry towel, just like we do cleaning windows. Because basically, it's just a window, but looking through a screen. From there, we'll continue through the console, and then the seats are next.
Ivan, what's the #1 tip you have for detailing interiors?
Be methodical. That is the most important thing. Have a process established that you know that you're not missing anything, because it's very easy to miss things on an interior if you're jumping around, going from there to there to there to there. You want to make sure that you're stable in your routine. So you know that you're going from point A to point B, and everywhere in between you're going to get.
If I don't own a supercar, Ivan, is interior ceramic for me?
Definitely. If it's a family car, even more, because kids and dirt seem to attract each other.
So why do I want interior ceramic?
You want interior ceramic to keep your interior easier to clean and stain free. Now, it's not 100% stain proof like anything. Our interior ceramic is a very different thing. If we think of ceramic coating on the paint, we think of the paint being encapsulated and the pores filled. In this case, we're not doing that. The viscosity of our interior ceramic coating is extremely thin. It's thinner than water. And with that viscosity, what it allows it to do is, instead of filling the pores of something, think of it as a crater. A regular ceramic, when you put it over the paint, it fills that crater, makes it smooth. The interior ceramic, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to line the walls of the crater to make them stain resistant. That is the major focus of our interior ceramic. You get a bit of hydrophobics, but that's really not what we're after. We're actually after stain protection.
Ivan, I like your stool game. You're never one to crouch down when a better ergonomic solution exists.
Exactly. Now, if you have knee pads, they work great in this situation. Instead of being crouched or instead of kneeling on the ground.
I feel like crouching is like a natural human pose, but I don't like being here for too long.
It actually is, and it's something that we should do on a daily basis.
Yeah, like I said, I don't mind it, but I know it's not for everyone, and it doesn't feel like while working, it's the easiest to do. But for short little stints, it's kind of nice. So Ivan, when we say leather on cars these days, it's not really leather, is it?
Well, it's coated leather. So we're treating the coating that's on the leather. We're not actually treating the leather itself. And that's why you want to stay away from abrasives. And this seat is a combination of leather, Alcantara. We have some carbon fiber happening. A nice, really interesting mix. And very comfortable too.
So I'm sitting on the door sill. I don't want to sit on the actual painted door jamb, but
no.
It feels almost disrespectful to do it like this, Ivan. I feel like I should get one of those fancy stools you've got.
Oh, you have one right behind you, Nick.
All right, I'll go grab it. Okay, Ivan, whether it's white vegan Tesla leather or white leather here in this Corvette, blue gene transfer is the bane of many car owners' existence.
Yeah.
What realistically can we do to prevent that?
That is our interior ceramic. So that, and wash new jeans before bringing them into the car. Don't just take them off the shelf and start wearing them.
The interior ceramic will certainly slow it down.
Yeah.
If someone is getting in and out aggressively on a bolster every day for a year, though, like it's gonna take a toll if it's white leather.
Exactly. So the interior ceramic needs to be renewed. Let's say the driver's seat, the steering wheel, once a year.
And if you're someone who's just dead set on this never getting stained, interior ceramic is one option, but that wouldn't prevent actual wear and tear from aggressively sitting in with a lot of weight. And so if you're like, I don't ever want my Corvette to get damaged, you could just put a car seat over it or a towel, right? You're not gonna enjoy it as much, but in the real world, you can do all the things. Wear and tear is still gonna be wear and tear. Right, Ivan?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is.
I just like to give people the realistic picture of, you're doing this because it's the best thing you can do, but if you're actually gonna use the vehicle, it's important to be realistic. But not all seats are created equal.
No. Now, the owner of this Corvette asked us for one very special request though, and that is to coat with our exterior ceramic coating the back of the seats. They're gloss black and they look phenomenal, and right now they're not scratched up, so now's the time to do it.
Do these get exposed to the elements per se?
With the top down, yes.
Just the sun, but obviously not a lot of water beating, hopefully, on these.
No. The water beating isn't the goal here, it's just protection. And
although I do see some drips on here, so they're gonna get exposed, like you said.
yeah, so there's only two things that this vehicle we're not gonna be coating on the interior with interior ceramic, and that is the windows, because you never want anything hydrophobic on the windows. But secondly, the back of these seats. So the back of the seats, as you can see, it's a bright piano black. We want to use exterior ceramic for that. We're gonna be using our 8-year ceramic on that one.
Could you use interior ceramic on the back of the seats?
Yes, you can. So the only thing we don't coat with interior ceramic is very simple, the inside of the windows.
Obviously, if the vehicle were dirtier, we'd have a vacuum out and it would be a bit of a deeper dive detail, wouldn't it, Ivan?
Right. But basically, we just want to make sure we're cleaning every surface.
This is a cell phone holder?
Yeah. Sort of a difficult area, but
interesting placement for that. I guess it prevents you from looking at it, which is nice.
Yeah. That's probably why the owner has a cell phone holder on the dash.
The details on this vehicle are really cool.
Yeah, they are. A lot of interesting shapes and textures and movement. You know, it looks fast standing still.
It really does.
You know, Nick, the only thing that would make this Corvette better for me is a manual transmission. It's missing a pedal.
You know, the computer's always gonna do it more efficiently, I suppose, or faster, but I love a stick shift.
Nick, I've cleaned the carpet ready for the interior ceramic, but I'm actually gonna put the mat back in. That way, I can do the dash, I can do the console, everything, then I'll remove the mat one more time when I'm doing the seat, the floors, and the door panel.
Okay.
That way my feet aren't getting on the carpet that I just cleaned. Everything is cleaned, time to start coating. Interior ceramic, red foam applicator pad, and I'm not trying to douse the applicator. I'm not doing full pulls on the trigger. I'm just doing little small pulls. I'm not trying to get the pad soaking, I'm just trying to get it damp with the ceramic. And you don't want to spray inside the interior. That can lead to overspray, not a good thing. So again, starting with the dash, working our way back, the same method we did for the cleaning. And making sure to get into all these little nooks and crannies, because the interior ceramic does a couple things for us. First of all, the staining that we mentioned before, but also it's anti-static. So that is going to help keep the interior cleaner, longer, without any accumulation. Now, as for feel, we get asked that, what does it feel like? Well, when it's done properly and on the surface the way we teach, feels like absolutely nothing, which is great. That's what we want, actually. We don't want the interior ceramic to change the feel of your interior. You paid for this Alcantara, you paid for the leather, you paid for the feel that those offer to you, and that's what we're trying to do. Now, to make reaching the dash, the cavernous back of the dash here easier, I'm moving the seat up as far as it will go, making it easier for me to reach. A little tight on the legs, but easier to do the work that I need to do. Just like a ceramic coating on the outside, and if you've never applied a ceramic coating on the outside, it's super easy. No need to be scared of it. We just want to get it on the surface, let it cross-link, and you'll see the change in the surface. It goes from looking really wet to starting to dry. At that point, you take your towel and level it, inspect, make sure that you don't have any high spots, and move on. Now, if you do accidentally leave a high spot on the surface, no need to stress. Within a day or so, you've got time, you see a high spot, take your applicator, reapply the product to the surface, and then carry on. Now let me move the seat back so I can get circulation in my legs again. Then I'm gonna go down the center console, out through the steering wheel. I'll get myself out of the vehicle and do all that. So just like the cleaning, we have to be methodical. We have to work in the same areas, the same directions, and we want to coat absolutely everything on this interior. Now, the other big advantage of our interior ceramic is UV protection, and this being a convertible, well, UV protection is an important thing. Now, we say don't coat interior glass, but I'm coating these little mirrors. We don't have to see through them, and if they fog up, it's not a big deal. But if we make them more difficult to get fingerprints on, that's a good thing.
Yeah, our interior ceramic is simple enough that you can apply it and level right away. You can give it a little bit of dwell time and let it flash a bit. Just make sure you're very thorough when you go to wipe with your towel at the end. Just making sure that, because I know this dash is gonna get a lot of UV, a lot of sunlight, being very thorough.
Yeah, the owner of this car is not shy about driving with the top down, which is great. If you have a convertible, use it, flaunt it, enjoy it.
Ivan, you've owned convertibles. What's that like?
I have a very hard time not owning a convertible.
You love the top down driving, don't you?
Yeah, winter and summer. Even though I don't like the cold too much, put the heated seats on, get the heater blasting, and nice, crisp, cool air around you. It's great.
If you see this darkness appear on your leather, don't freak out. You just want to treat it like an artist. You're just blending it in with your towel. So if you get into trouble and you're like, oh no, I permanently, no, don't worry. Just keep taking that leveling towel. We're gonna call it a leveling towel here, just a microfiber towel, and just work it in until you see an even appearance.
All these little buttons are done. This upper console, where all the cameras are, is done as well. Make sure I have no streaks on this rear view screen. It is sometimes a mirror, sometimes a screen. Nice how they did that. When the top is up, there's a camera on the top of the roof that this turns into a screen. So
Very cool.
Seeing out that back window is minimal at best. Now, yes, I am coating the infotainment screen. That is something we want to do. It's going to make finger marks a lot easier to remove, and actually you'll get less of them. Now, in a car like this, you're not going to get little kids and child seats too often, if ever. But you might end up going through a drive-through one day and have a little fry juice on your hands.
Things are going to happen.
Yeah, life
People
happens.
are going to do what they're going to do. This is about the best insurance you can set up for yourself to make whatever happens cleanable,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Not a miracle solution where nothing's ever going to happen. It's like, but when it does happen, can we address it? Can we wipe it off? Is it stain resistant, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I just found out that's how you open the glove box.
There you go. The little button in the center.
Obviously that makes sense now, but at the time I didn't know what I was working with here. Being very gentle, just making sure we got everything wiped. Covered with interior ceramic.
We've got the carbon fiber accents in here. They're very easy to coat. The shift buttons, and this is something for automotive engineers. We had standard shifters for decades. You either had the one up here on the column or you had the console shifter. Now they're coming out with different buttons and dials, and every car is different. Why can't we just standardize that, people?
Not a fan?
Some of them are okay, but they're not intuitive to use. You know,
Yeah.
once you've owned the car for a week or two, you're fine, but up until then, it's not a simple thing. We had a rental car last week. Then it took me 5 minutes to figure out how to put it in drive. You had to turn the button a certain way, and it was an electric car, so there's no auditory change, right? And the lights were like way too many lights. It was a rather expensive car, but nice car once you figured out how to use it.
You sound like an old man, Ivan.
I am.
Railing against the changes.
Yeah, not against the changes, but
Back in my day.
yeah.
No, I hear you.
There are some things that are better left alone.
Yeah, we move a lot of cars around in the garage, and I know what you mean. It unless you drive them every day, it can be a little confusing at first. You talk about stick shift being a millennial theft prevention device, or what do you call stick shift?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people call it online. Because unfortunately, there's a generation of people that may never drive stick shift, may never drive a manual transmission, don't know what a clutch pedal is.
There's no need for them to know, and yet it's a little sad.
I think it's fun to know, though.
Oh, totally. I agree. I love it. It's such a more connected driving experience.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tune out when you're driving stick.
No.
You can't be like, how did I get home tonight? Like, you're just too connected to the actual drive.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you can't have a self-driving car.
That's true.
Well, actually, you probably could. Because there are some transmissions out there that are actually solenoid shifted automatics. Or solenoid shifted manuals that make it feel like you're driving automatic, but it's actually a manual transmission that's there. I had a smart car that was that way. Very interesting vehicle to drive. Let's just say I've had a few cars in my life. And transmissions are something that have evolved dramatically recently. It used to be the options were a 3 on the tree, a 4 on the floor, or an automatic. And sometimes the automatic was a 2-speed, some it was a 3-speed. That lasted for decades. And then we got into 5 speeds, and we got into 4-speed automatics, and now 9-speed automatics, and 10-speed automatics, and 6-speed manuals, and DSGs, and CVTs, and all sorts of things.
How do you feel about a 6-speed manual?
Great.
Do you prefer it over 5?
Not necessarily. A lot of them, the 6th speed is just another overdrive. So not actually a gear you're going to be using, to have fun with. But
Right.
yes, for fuel economy, great idea.
Interior ceramic is a pretty strong smelling product, Ivan. Folks ask, should I wear a respirator? My answer is always, if you have one and you have a question about it, absolutely go for it.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing wrong with wearing a respirator. The smell, yes, it is strong. It's not something that's necessarily damaging, and we're sort of open right now. If you're in a small, closed car, then yeah, it might be a good idea. Make sure the doors and windows are open. First of all, you don't want to get it on the windows, so it's a good thing to have the windows open. That way you can't touch them. But also, having the doors open, maybe set a fan up or do it outside. Our garage, let's just say it's not exactly sealed, so it's better than it was. We're improving on that front. The renovations are going forward, but there's still some work to do. And today it's pouring rain in Omaha, and we can hear the rain on the roof sometimes. And we hear the cars going by on the street. So, just part of our charm, part of our patina. We have a 70-year-old building in an active part of town, so there is going to be a bit of noise.
Ivan, I almost hit the carbon fiber with interior ceramic, and then I remembered, not yet, Nick.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, that's getting 8-year ceramic coating on it.
Would you spray the seats with interior and rub it in, or just use the applicator?
Use the applicator since it's Alcantara. On the carpet, we're going to spray and brush, but on the seats, spraying anything on an interior is never really the best of ideas. And I'm being very thorough with the steering wheel to make sure I don't miss anything. So going section by section. Front, back, top, bottom, around the sides. This is another thing. The shape of steering wheels. It's not even round anymore. We had a Tesla Cybertruck in here recently, and same thing, it has the yoke, so instead of a steering wheel. And finally, beautiful little paddle shifters here. They have a nice weighted feel to them. Shiny polished aluminum. They look like they're clear coated, that's why I'm putting this on. If I was 100% sure they were raw metal, I'd be using our metal ceramic coating on them. But the interior ceramic, in this case, will do a great job.
I'm always trying to stand up the fibers, Ivan, of
Yeah.
the Alcantara. I don't want to leave any patterns in this.
No,
in this
exactly.
seat.
Now, if you have something fibrous like the Alcantara, feel free to go over it twice with the interior ceramic. Let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour, and then you can do a second coat if you desire. We've had a lot of low-slung cars in here, and the Corvette's actually fairly easy to get out of, especially with the top off of it. So the bottom part of the dashboard is actually easier to get at when you're out of the car. So all this down here. For the carpet, I'm going to liberally spray the carpet. This is the only time we tell you to spray on the interior. Get it on the carpet, get it nice and damp. And then I'm going to take a new white brush, nice and dry, nice and clean, and just work it into the fibers in different directions. We'll let that sit for 30 minutes and repeat the operation. This is the one time you're going to spray interior ceramic. And I'm going to spray it on the carpet, making sure I get it nice and damp. Then I'm going to immediately wipe the overspray off the adjacent panels that I got a little bit on. So we don't want to leave that there. Now that it's dwelled for a few seconds, I take a nice clean dry brush and work it into the surface in different directions. Let that cross-link for 30 minutes. We'll come back and apply a second coat. Last piece, floor mats. Now, we've cleaned them with rinseless wash. We're going to cover them in the interior ceramic. Agitate it with our applicator pad, working it in, making sure we're getting it everywhere. And we'll let it sit for a few minutes and wipe off any excess. Very simple, very easy process. And these will help these mats dramatically to stay cleaner longer and also look better. Unfortunately, this type of mat can get really grungy looking after a certain amount of time. This is going to help it stay clean. After it's cured for a few minutes, take a microfiber towel, level the surface, and we can install it back in the Corvette.
Ivan, we haven't even touched the exterior of this vehicle, but
No.
This is what I call peace of mind on the interior.
Right, the interior is now protected, top to bottom, front to back, everything is protected. The interior is going to be as good as the exterior. Now, we still have to polish the exterior, we still have to coat it. That's going to be a little later. In the meantime, you can probably watch this video and have a lot of fun.